Okay.
Yeah.
I think we've been working with INBL for 3 years, and in that time we've done a lot of development work. We've ran 3-on-3 competitions, 5-on-5 competition. So we've got an understanding of the players and the landscape of Indian basketball. And I think that's why we feel that we're ready to put the icing on the cake, if you like, of the sport, and that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
It's the right time because the players are ready, they want to play. We know that we have some fantastic talent which could compete at international level, but the problem is nobody knows them.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who they are. In fact, forget internationally, nobody knows who they are in India. Nobody watches the games in India. So how do we showcase these guys who are obviously talented and like diamonds that are just held away, just gems that you never see? That's what we have to give them, a platform to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I think basketball, being an international sport and the opportunity to engage internationally with the sport, as you can see out here with an international team, is what these guys need. And because with that comes an opportunity for them also to showcase their talent around the world. At the moment, the only time they're seen is if we have an international game. Nobody knows. I sent a video of a player to an NBL 1 team in Australia, and they wanted to speak to that person. Now, we don't have that opportunity to showcase ourselves. Now, obviously, playing in India is hugely important. It's hugely important to engage the community. It's hugely important to engage young people who maybe know a little bit about the sport because there's a ring in every school and have put the ball through the hoop. Show them where they can go to. That's the opportunity for us and for the sport and for the country to be able to do that. We're happy to work with anybody in order to further the interest of the sport and the players. So we're happy to work with anyone. Our job is to make sure that we play the sport and develop the sport and to do whatever we do within the laws of the land. That's the most important thing. That's all we can do. If we do those two things, then the sport will be successful. But I think the key is that actually, yes, of course we're here to promote the sport for helping our sponsors and so on from a commercial perspective, from franchise owners from a commercial perspective. But if we don't look out after the talent that's out there, then you don't have a product. It's like trying to sell ice cream and you have water.
Yeah.
So you have to have the players, the talent. You have to look after the talent, and that's what we want to do. Because if we have them, we have a great league. If we have the talent to be able to play and compete with international players, which we'll find out soon, then yes, of course, we'll have a league. But we have to keep them at the centre of our thoughts. And if we don't do that, we don't have anything. I don't think it's about being better than anyone. Yeah. That's not a question that I think that we need to answer. I think the better question is actually, why do we think we will be successful in running this? And I talked about that in my speech. The reason I think we can be successful is, first of all, we've already run a tournament like this at an international level, so we know what it takes to be able to run this. We know how to put a league structure together to be able to run. Now what we have to also do is to make this entertainment, because it's not just the sport, it's entertainment. That's how you bring, if you think about two different audiences, one audience that knows the sport and maybe watches foreign sport, foreign games from NBA or whatever, and then you have another group that play the sport but are never seen. And it's about how do we join those two together to make super fans, to make super players, to get people engaged in the sport. That's what we're trying to do. And personally, I've worked with NBL in Australia and with Basketball Australia. And when I was working for the NBL, I was the COO for a period of time as a consultant. So I know how to run a league. I've also worked with the owner of that league to actually do some benchmarking across the franchises to see how they make money, who makes money, how they can make more money, which is hugely important for them. I've written 3 different business plans for new franchises in the city of Melbourne. And one of them is the latest one that's there, which is Phoenix. I wrote their business plan to begin with. So we have the knowledge from outside of how to do that. And what we've been doing over the last 3 years is to gaining the knowledge from here. So we're not here for a short time. We've just been spending money for the last 3 years with no income. Okay? Now, our job now is to continue this league for the next 5-10 years. We're not here for a short time. And if we were here for a short time, we would have just come in and said, hey, we're going to start a professional league. We didn't do that. We started with the grassroots. We started a 3-on-3 competition in 20 different cities. I wanted to do 30, but there was issues with COVID and so on, so we could only do 20. But imagine that, just with that competition, we had almost 10,000 players that were playing across the country. Okay? And so we've got the knowledge of that, and that's why we think we can be successful doing what we're doing. Look, we came here to work with whoever wanted to work with us. We had the resources, we had the knowledge to start to do things here, and we're happy to work with anybody, and that will continue into the future. And I think the most important part is what I said, which is that we'll work within the laws of the land, but we'll partner with anyone that wants to partner with us. The door's never shut with things, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, we're happy to work with anybody, and that will continue. We always keep the doors open. Our founders that you heard from today as well, they're business people, but they have a passion for the sport. So they want to keep the door open too. Why would you shut any door? But whatever door opens has to make sure that those players and the opportunity for new players and to develop those players is at the center of everything that we do. And then everything else will follow. You saw my pyramid. Talent goes up, money gets made, and money comes down. That's the cycle we have to get into. Look, the future prospect is really simple. If we make the sport entertaining for people to watch, people will watch, and then we will create superstars out of those players because people are drawn to the game. We create fans, not just fans, but we create super fans who start to play fantasy leagues or whatever else they do to become a super fan. Interested in player statistics, because this game is full of statistics. So interested in those, and then we'll make superstars out of them. And that's what we should be trying to do. They deserve it. They've been working hard. They work hard every day. They train every day. They train for months on end. They play in camps for months on end. But where's the opportunity for them? And that's what we need to provide.
But if they will become superstars, they will leave to play NBA.
Actually, 100%. There's Khel Now India. You heard from the gentleman from Khel Now India. There's also the podium program. Our job is also not just for the players, but actually for the country. Okay, for the country to be successful, to move our position from 80th or 87th, wherever we are, upwards for men, and similarly for women, and play in Olympics. We've got some young stars who they won our first 3-on-3 competition. These under 18 guys, they won the under 18 competition. As a result of winning that, they also went on to represent India in the Asia Cup. Now, for the first time, we got to the final. We lost in the final, and they were the first team then to compete in the World Championships. What an awesome prospect! And they only lost the game. They lost by, very, very small margin. So our job is to put India on the map when it comes to basketball. When you have the population that we have, there's no reason why that shouldn't happen. Okay, and the talent is there, and we have to make sure that we showcase it, but also showcase India to the world, that actually we're not just cricket. Sorry for cricket. We're not just cricket. We're actually about all these things. And we're going to go to the Olympics at some point. We're going to go to play in the World Championships that we haven't. But we have to start here. But that's our ultimate aim, is to actually help India sport get to those levels.
सर फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लीग शुरू हो रही है इतनी बड़ी, ऑलरेडी पीकेएल कबड्डी की लीग होती है, आईपीएल क्रिकेट की लीग होती है, आईएसएल फुटबॉल की, आज ये बड़ा मंच है आप दे रहे हैं बास्केटबॉल को, मतलब क्या फीलिंग है, आप क्या देख रहे हो?
फर्स्टली मैं सबका बहुत थैंक यू करना चाहता हूँ. आई लव द वाइब, एवरीवन's here. I can see an amazing youth, even with media, the support that we're having is phenomenal. We are unlocking basketball for India. For the youth, there are going to be great pathways, opportunities created, history made for India. We're doing the tryouts in the coming weeks. The auction, the team launches starts, and then we go live August, September for the league. All the dates going to be announced in coming days.
Yeah.
And we're very excited that you're excited. And there'll be global talent coming to India, playing with Indians, and creating great talent out of India. Yeah. And the rest going to be history.
Sir, major thing, there are lots of controversies behind the starting of the league. So I'll just put first question. What was your initial reaction to the case filing by BFI?
That should be administrative discussions. Yeah, my team's here to answer. Obviously, we will be abide by the land of law. We have no intentions whatsoever to interrupt the sport with law. Everything within the law landscape, we have to work within that.
Yeah, have you tried to talk with BFI before?
We are always in discussion with federations, Basketball State Federation and Basketball Federation of India. Obviously, the team was involved in creating national leagues over the last couple of years, which was very successful. It stimulates a lot of talent, activities all around us. So always in discussion and with the right blessings all the time.
BFI is also starting a new league.
My administrative team would be across all the talent distribution, leagues, commencements. They'll be across all of that. They're here to answer. Yeah. But again, in saying we are abiding by the land of law, we'll be here to do the right thing by the sport and to do the right thing by the aspiring players.
Okay, so this one is important. Are you planning to apply for any tender? I mean, if BFI launches any tender in future?
Our administrative team is around the whole plan for basketball for India. Again, today is about players, the team, and the sport. We're here to enjoy, and we're here to start a great chapter. So thank you very much for having me.